I'm super excited about our next guest, Marc Rogers. He's a founder of Producers Prospect, a national marketing organization with over 500 independent advisors around the country. Welcome to the show, Marc.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
So my first question is, how are you moving America forward?
You know, I think we're moving America forward in our firm by helping more Americans get educated about their retirement. And I fly across our amazing country every single week. I do about 100 speaking events, all working with investors, really figuring out and getting through the challenges and knowing what's coming ahead of them, being able to create more of a secure, safe retirement. And in doing that, Tom, I get to work with a lot of our peers and work with financial advisors across the country, helping them in their own business grow and more fully develop their practice.
Now, I know you also write and talk a lot about these tax bombs that are out there for retirees. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think, number one, I think Americans today, Tom, are standing at an inflection point. Almost think about it as two roads. And here we are, you've gone up the mountain, you've accumulated, and you've done a great job saving. And as part of that accumulation, you've taught to defer. You've taught to use that IRA, that 401k, that 403b, that 457 plan, and you've been building this nest egg for retirement. Well, taking a step back, you and I both know we were all taught we were going to retire on the old three-legged stool of retirement, right? What are those? Personal savings, Social Security,
and pensions back then.
Who's got a pension anymore? I wish I did, right? So now that stool's looking wobblier and you've had to build it yourself. So you've been putting your money away in your IRA. Little did you know that you were actually creating a retirement tax time bomb, as Mr. Ed Slott likes to say, our good friend Ed Slott. So here we go. People are living longer in retirement. Fewer and fewer people have pension plans today. I don't know about you, but probably taxes are going to go up over one's retirement. Inflation and all these other things are mounting. And now you've got to deal with this problem that you're building, which is your IRA. So what do? You either pay now or you pay later. And if you're going to pay later, there's this little thing called RMDs, required minimum distributions. And Tom, as you know, that can be very problematic for Americans. So here's where I stand. Where I stand is we want to help people retire with more tax-free dollars.
So Marc, really what you're saying is taxes can be a bigger problem for retirees than market volatility.
Well, I think those go hand in hand, right? But of course, nobody wants to do another 2008, right? That was when your 401k turned into a 201k.
Right.
And nobody wants to do when .com became .gone overnight. So people have weathered that storm, and market volatility is certainly a risk, but that can be relieved almost if you had more tax-free dollars in your retirement bucket. So my game plan is this. We are on a unique period of time. If you're making the assumption that taxes are going to go up, we're in a pivotal time. We know what tax rates are today. So if tax rates are low, then there's some strategies out there that you want to take advantage of, Roth conversion being one of those. And by the way, we're seeing this pop up everywhere, right? Everybody's talking about this. This is something that's really important today. But Tom, why are people struggling to do a Roth conversion today?
They don't understand it. They don't understand what the rules are or how much they can convert or how to do it the proper way.
There's not a lot of people really helping them go through, right? And typically, most investors have kind of all their professionals in silos. They have their insurance person over here, their wealth management person there, maybe their tax preparer, not tax planner. Most people have tax preparers. And then who? Maybe you're a state attorney over there. Nobody's coordinating that conversation all together. So I like to say that we are that financial Sherpa helping you get down the mountain. And is there one Sherpa taking you up and down Mount Everest, or is there a team? Right? You got to have that team.
Yeah. So you've developed something called the Roth Blueprint. Tell me about that and how that helps people solve some of these problems.
We saw a need we saw a need as I travel through the country and I'm doing these financial educational seminars for near retirees or retirees today. And one of the biggest needs that was coming out of this is really that tax planning as an overall part to the retirement plan. Okay, so we know retirement income planning's at its all-time high. Everyone needs this, and very few advisors actually focus. Most advisors are accumulators. They don't really work in that distribution phase, right? We saw that as we got relief on our tax rates, that we had a story to tell today to really walk people through the numbers. So as my good friend Steve Hutchinson, myself, and others started looking out into the marketplace, we really realized, Tom, that there's no real true accurate software to articulate the value of doing that Roth conversion or having RMDs as part of your plan. So we went out and created a software that Americans can use to help you make that decision. And really what it does, Tom, is it lays out those two paths. Do I deal with my problem later? Do I go through RMDs? Is that a better situation for myself? Or can I go ahead and convert? And the value of the software is we link back in some of the financial products that are out there, investments that are out there, that really what we call a preferred tax vehicle, a preferred vehicle to help create this conversion process. So Tom, if I were to sit down with you and you had an IRA and I said, Tom, here's your path. Path one is, here's what your RMDs are going to be over your life. And I could quantify that to you. Things like IRMA, nobody's talking about IRMA, but here's another situation that you need to be educated on. And then how about to your heirs? I almost hate saying heirs, your legacy, your family, right? And what does that tax bill look like all the way through your legacy? Okay. And then what if I could help you not come out of pocket costs to do that conversion? That's one of those big things in our mind. Hey, I don't want to do a Roth conversion. Why? Because I don't want to pay the tax bill. And number two is, what if I could keep you in that same tax bracket while going through the conversion process? So what I'm trying to do is maintain your principal, because that feels good, in a really safe, conservative, and no out-of-pocket costs to the investor. And then also doing tax bracket management to keep you within those same tax brackets that you want to be in. So the software actually quantifies this in front of you, and it will optimize your specific plan right to you. And we'll say, hey, can we do this conversion over 3 years, 5 years, 7 years? What's the optimal way to get this conversion done if I could answer those things? Stay within the tax brackets that you want. And number two, maintain that principal so that on the back end, as you've moved this now from tax deferred to tax free, I like to say we're building a bridge over to that tax free. How do we do that in the most efficient way for you?
So Mark, does life insurance ever fit into any of your conversations?
I mean, all of it fits in, right? Like we talked about having those specific team members sitting down, bringing different minds to the table, where we've been talking about this, getting up and down the mountain, making sure that we're looking at all the different aspects. All that comes into your plan, right? So depending on your estate plan, your lifetime income plan, life insurance is a powerful tool. But unfortunately, most advisors, you and I know this because we've been around for a really long time doing this, don't understand life insurance. And you know what? It's really misunderstood as a financial services tool. And you preach that a ton. You've been one of my kind of I've followed you for many years. One of those mentors that talks about the passionate. It's the only investment that creates an immediate estate for your family. Now, what's so powerful about that, and by the way, I've done this for so long that a lot of those policies, those life insurance policies that I worked with investors at the beginning of my career, just like my annuities, you know what? Those promises are starting to have to be fulfilled. Unfortunately, with life, as we age, those are starting to cease. So all those promises that I made as a really young agent now are starting to come through. What's so sad, what is so sad about that, Tom, is in lots of circumstances, I've had conversations where I am delivering that death claim to that family. And that is a powerful thing, right? But I've said too many times, I wish there was more. And that's the reality. People tend to put this on the back burner. They tend to say, I'll wait to deal with that problem. And nobody's having these hard conversations. So one of the things is there's a massive development as wants and needs have come through. These insurance companies, they employ actuaries, some of the smartest, brightest minds in financial services, I think. And they are focused on knowing the numbers and being able to add value to you. So if you're sitting at home and you're thinking about, gosh, I need to pull that old life insurance policy out, let me give you a couple of thoughts. Number one is go get an in-force illustration. There's power in that to really knowing. Number two is a lot of these life insurance products today have things like long-term care benefits. So the dying age of having a long-term care insurance policy is almost a thing of the past. Most people don't know that. But now getting that life insurance hooked on with that long-term care benefit that's in there. So you may have some benefits in there you may have no idea that are there that you can actually utilize as a planning tool. And then lastly, I would say beneficiaries. Gosh, how many times that you haven't looked at your beneficiaries on all your assets, so that you should be looking at that through your estate plan. You should be getting constant updates. Life insurance is one of those pieces that gets commonly overlooked and missed. So I would say, gosh, make sure that you're going through every couple of years and you're looking at the beneficiaries on all your different investments, including your life insurance, making sure that those are up to date.
If somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Because I mean, you're covering all this material. There's going to be some people who say, wow, I want to do that. How do I get a hold of you?
Well, I think first, if you go to producersprospect.com, you can go right on to my personal calendar, schedule a time to talk. If you're a financial professional that's watching this, we hold lots of different educational boot camps and times that we can sit down and show you how to implement this strategy to help your investors and your clients. If you're an investor, if you're an American out there that has this challenge, no matter what part of the country that you're in, I have financial professionals all across the country that I work with. So if you go on, you book a time with me, we'll get somebody in that area to sit down with you, go through this Roth blueprint, get to know your numbers. It's nice if you just had those numbers in front of you, then you could start to take action.
Well, Mark, I can tell you are definitely moving America forward. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks to every one of you for watching another episode of Moving America Forward.